his head was that he was like, we were given a presentation in the chamber and there was no mention of Magento. How can you forget 50% of the population? How can you just do that? I mean, it's unbelievable. And then more than 30% of, I think 70% of our country is youths under 30, and they need to go into entrepreneurship. And I talk about productive entrepreneurship, which is productive not just for them, but for job creation, for self-employment, for creating employment for others. So we need to focus, tell them the right thing, how to get about, how to go. A lot of people start, there are a lot of startups, but do they survive? Usually they don't go ahead of 1 year and they close down. So we need to innovate. SMEDA needs to innovate, policies need to be innovated. We have to be in today, in 2018. We cannot have policies from 20 years ago. Things have changed remarkably. We need to change. And once we change, single window operation, gender neutral nahi, gender supportive. That's what we need to do. We need to encourage our girls. We need to encourage our women. They are, first we are human, then we are a man or a woman. Let's start thinking like that, and it will make a huge difference.
I'll go back to the people. So how many of you want to, yes, so how many of you want to start a business? Why don't you raise your hands again? Higher. You've got to be more proactive if you want to start a business. Not like this, like this. Not many, surprisingly. 3 or 4. But I see a good gender distribution, at least in the raising of the hands. So it works over there. But yes, support is needed. You're absolutely right. Ahmed, I'll come back to you. So when you started or your businesses, did you get help from any sort of ecosystem player? And if not, first answer that and then I'll ask you another question.
Sadly, we started a business at a time when there was no knowledge of startups and tech startups. That term did not exist. We sort of invented it for Pakistan. There was no support in terms of logistics, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of funding, in terms of regulation. When I say regulation, I mean knowledge of regulation, right? Regulation is what it is, but no one even knew what regulation surrounding our industry was. So we literally had to write the book on it, but luckily, we figured it out, and we were able to pass on that knowledge to as many people as we could. But no, when we started, and the other thing is, since as Asya mentioned, that things have changed since then, right? So what we've learned is no longer applicable. There's a new tax regime. Things are different. The more companies have come who've sort of played around with the system. So yeah, but no, we never. We had to figure everything out on our own and invent some of it.
Yeah. So Ahmed and I were just having a discussion outside. So as a project, we help SMEs in certain sectors, logistics being one of them and ICT being another one. So Cheetah is obviously a part of both. So I move on to another point and sort of like have an interview of how we can help you while we sit on stage here. If you were to receive some sort of help from a catalyst or a project or SMEDA or anyone, what would you require to grow further, create more jobs, create more employment opportunities, women and men or whoever? So what would you need?
So, we're exploring a lot of things, right? But most importantly, the market needs to grow. People, go to retail. We're trying to bring retail online, right? Mm-hmm. So we need help in convincing people to go online. We need help in cross sort of intercity logistics, right? Intra we're building, but we need to figure out, okay, if someone from Gujranwala wants to order something from Lahore, how do we get it there? So what we basically want is the market to grow. The other problem that we started seeing in the market is this discount-driven economy. People love e-commerce as long as you're giving them a deal, as long as you're giving them a discount, right? Careem, Uber, even Daraz, 11 sale, they do 30% of their annual sort of revenue on one day, right? That's how powerful sort of these things are. But we need to grow the ecosystem and the market to an extent where they're willing to accept this as not at full price, but at a price where the companies are also making money. So that is sort of what we're thinking about these days. How do we add value to consumers while still being below retail price? So that's sort of the real challenge that we're facing.
Okay.
So what we really want is the market to be built, people to be educated. So people need cell phones, right? They need smartphones to use our apps. That means that the internet, the 3G, 4G needs to be cheaper for more people. It needs to be available in more places, right? So these are kind of sort of the infrastructure that needs to support us. That it's still not there. We still don't get good internet. We still don't get good logistics. We still don't get enough trust. So we need help in sort of these things.
All right. Kaman, you work with SMEDA and you also are now working with USAID. So what do you think, what sort of role can these entities play in helping small enterprises and helping entrepreneurs first come into life and then actually scale and grow?
Actually, I prefer SMEDA's RBC's model because when you talk jobs, like 900,000, 1 million jobs per year, where? In large cities or in secondary or tertiary cities. So you don't have any other organization except for SMEDA, which has national presence and it's working in these smaller cities. Because other than that, like, you might have a few people employed by LUMS or through LUMS or IB or whichever. But Gujarat, Gujranwala, Multan, Sakha, you go there, those guys do not get the same kind of help. So I think that's one thing which SMEDA is doing right, that they're going to the secondary and tertiary cities also. USA itself has certain programs which we're working on. One is called Punjab Youth Workforce Development. That's basically a vocational training program with an entrepreneurship component. So 4 districts of South Punjab. That's what we focus on right now. Another program is SME. So again, we are working with women entrepreneurs, especially in dairy sector. So that's like the other side. A prior project was called USA Dairy. It was basically working with Nestle. It was tripartite agreement. USA put in money, Nestle put in all the technical expertise, and we had a local NGO managing the program. So again, South Punjab, and then part of Nestle's catchment area. So we trained women in basic animal husbandry. We went to the villages and trained them in basic animal husbandry so that animals could survive better. Better food and management, it was about 20 to 25% increase in the milk yield. The more milk you have, the more you can use and the more you can sell. So it also improves your nutrition. 2 youths, we trained them in artificial insemination. A Pakistani cow, buffalo, whichever, 3 to 11 liters of milk a day. An American or Australian goes up to 30, 35 liters. I think Adnan is here, so he would correct me if I'm making it wrong figures, but that's what it is. So, how do you increase the milk? So we trained those youth, they were going around and changing the breed is a long term, it's like 5 to 8 years process. So we could afford it. Nestle needed more milk, we could afford to provide that long-term investment. So that was there. And then we trained some farmers in better production techniques for silage and things like that. So patient capital is what I would call it. That's what a donor agency can bring in. So, and with SMEDA, I've already kind of said that they are the ones who are doing out to the smaller cities. I wish they had more offices and bigger offices in smaller cities, but that's a separate conversation altogether.
Of course. So I feel it's a discredit if I don't tell you about some of the things that we do as well. So we not only help SMEs grow by providing cash grants for existing businesses, but also we help SMEs in terms of acquiring business development services. And I know SMEDA's business development service program is also very well developed. I noticed that the gentleman from State Bank earlier was getting a lot of heat from the crowd and also from the panelists, but very honestly, the State Bank also has some very good policies. And mostly what I've noticed is there is a lack of information. So SMEs don't know about the facilities out there, and obviously organizations such as ourselves or SMEDA or others, or even the State Bank, they struggle to get the word out because obviously, as you've heard, there's so many enterprises across Pakistan. Yes, would you like
one thing? you said about lack of information. I would add to it that there are certain global opportunities present. One of the panelists earlier mentioned research. So we have a specific program which supports research. It funds research, run out of Washington. And the last cycle I saw you had applicant winners from Bhutan, you had winners from Afghanistan, and Allah Niya ke pichwade wale tamam countries. No one from Pakistan, not one applicant. And that whole round was like about $3 million, something like that. That was the amount of money which was distributed through that cycle. So lack of information is one. I would request that you go to grants.gov, grants.gov. वहाँ पे काफी information वगैरह दी होती है. It's all public.
And I'd just like to add to what Kamran said. So I told you we have a grants program. So on the USA Facebook page, they put down you can get up to 6.5 million PKR in funding, and you email on this and all of the details. And people would write beneath that post, please send me all the details. And honestly, I wanted to reply and say, trust me, you're never going to get a grant. If you can't actually make the effort and reach out and say, okay, what do I need to do? Then I'm sorry, I don't think you're ever even going to run a business. It's very, very difficult to do that. So since we're almost out of time, I have you give your final thoughts, especially for those people who are either enterprises themselves here or are looking to become job creators rather than job seekers. So Charles, final thoughts.
Well, I'm optimistic, let's put it that way. I know these are tough times in the economy and globally, it's getting tougher, but I'm optimistic from what I've seen. I've been in Pakistan about 1 year now, and I'm seeing a lot of entrepreneurial activity. And I guess for me, the question is how to get it to the next level. And so, I heard some comments about the consulting profession earlier this morning. I think if you actually put money into businesses that provide services to entrepreneurs, right? You can call them consulting firms, you can call them accelerators. Accelerator might even be a stakeholder in the company. They might take an equity stake like venture capital firms do. Anyway, these services are very important, and I think if we can, maybe that's the patient development partner funding that should be out there to help these services be available to entrepreneurs, because, there is potential.
I would like to encourage youth, especially women, to come into entrepreneurship and productive entrepreneurship, not just earning money for yourself, helping in the economic change that you bring about in the country, and not just for your own self. Today, in today's world, it's very, very easy to do an online business. You just need to have the right product, and you just need a Facebook and Instagram page, and you need to understand. You need to understand it. What is an Instagram page? How does it help your business? What is Facebook? How does it help you? What is hashtagging? How do you approach the right people who are looking for what you're selling? You have to learn all that. When I say that you have to learn the theory part of entrepreneurship, this is the theory part. What is marketing in today's world? How can you market all over the world? And I think, especially for women, I think nothing better than entrepreneurship, because you can have your own working hours. After my whole 1 year's degree, I came to the conclusion that anywhere in the world, the woman's first job remains her reproductive role, which is mother, daughter, sister, household keeper, everything. And whatever she does, other than that, is her productive role. So that doesn't change for a woman in London or America or Japan or Pakistan. And it is easier for a woman to be an entrepreneur where she can adjust her timings according to her family, according to the needs of the family, because she remains the main nurturer of that family. That doesn't change anything. It's a more complementing thing that women can do. Jobs have their own limitations. It's a 9 to 5, your child is sick, doesn't matter, you have to go. So there's multiple issues in jobs. Entrepreneurship is not just better for the country, it's better for the women. And for the youth, it is creating jobs, it is moving the economy of the country. So we should all, and there are examples and studies worldwide where European countries went into major recessions, and how they recovered is that the entrepreneurship restarted their whole economy. So we need to study, and we need to innovate, and we need to know where we stand before we step out and become entrepreneurs.
So, there's something that we started referring to as the entrepreneurial mindset. So, so you could be doing a job, but if you take more ownership and you do it in such a way which is innovative, creative, and solves a problem, then you have an entrepreneurial mindset. I'll give you a very short example. We had one of our riders who used to deliver packages for us. He decided that मैं 3 लड़के और रख लेता हूँ, ठीक है? Who will work for me? आप मुझे parcels ज़्यादा देना शुरू कर दे, right? So all of a sudden, he still rode his bike and made his deliveries, but all of a sudden he had 3 people working for him who he also provided an opportunity for. Ultimately, you all work for us. But that's what an entrepreneurial mindset is. That you look for opportunities where people see problems, right? And so these sort of things really help. So even if you're doing a job or you're working somewhere else, having that sort of problem solving and ownership approach to problems is really going to help no matter what you do and how you do it. And so we started looking at money as a commodity, right? If you build something good, if you have the right team, you have the a decent idea, and you have good execution strategy, and you manage to get some traction. Money right now, there's a lot of liquidity in the world, so apologies to the VCs so the money will come, right? The money is a way to keep score. Money wants to follow money, and money wants to make more money, right? So if you're already making money, it's easier for you to raise capital and to attract other people. In Pakistan, if you look at the banking system and everything, banks are always running after people who already have money. Nobody wants to give someone with no money anything, right? So it's all about security and safety. So don't worry about raising capital or कि अच्छा Pakistan में investment नहीं करता, VCs नहीं है, private equity नहीं है. It doesn't matter. You build something good, the money will come. And you build that entrepreneurial mindset. So one thing people sort of ignore, which I really wanted to touch upon, was digital payments. That's something which really needs to happen in the economy for things to get stimulated and for businesses, for digital businesses and technology businesses to flourish. So I guess that's it, right? So the entrepreneurial mindset and the fact that don't worry about capital. The capital will follow greatness.
Come on.
I would add to Ahmed's point. The word is entrepreneurship. If you look at your entrepreneurship textbooks, it's written there, entrepreneurship. So overall, my would be that overall situation has become a lot better. I remember going in 2007 to MIT EF's Enterprise Forum's business plan competition, and there was this Lumps group presenting their business plan, and it was so bad that I went out and I was standing chatting to somebody, and his colleague comes in, they're both senior bankers. So the guy who comes in says, "Sir, I was thinking of sending my children to Lumps for their studies, but after seeing this presentation, I will send them abroad." So from that perspective, I see business plans now, huge difference for the better. So for all of you, you have way more role models, you have way more support available than all those guys, so I would encourage you to take that step. Become an entrepreneur. If you can't become an entrepreneur, at least become an intrapreneur.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, panelists. It was a pleasure having you here, and good luck to all the entrepreneurs out there.